Hello, Mebane. I hope you all are staying cool in this super hot heat and you're drinking tons of water. It's only July, so you can expect that the temperatures are going to get probably even hotter. Today, we're here to discuss the July City Council meeting and go over some important updates. But first, Mayor Hooks and City Manager Chris Rollins, how are you both doing today?
Doing great. Thank you.
Very good.
Good. Well, let's go ahead and start off with a recognition that is super important. And we also had this resolution last year. Mayor Hooks, can you please explain to us what resolution was passed at the council meeting?
I certainly will. Thank you, Kelly. We recognized in July and officially designated it the Parks and Recreation Month. Parks and Recreation promotes health and wellness, improving the physical and mental health of people who live near parks. Parks and Recreation promotes time spent in nature, which positively impacts mental health by increasing cognitive performance and well-being, and alleviating illnesses such as depression, attention, and deficit disorders. Parks and Recreation also increases a community's economic prosperity through increased property values, expansion of local tax base, increased tourism, the attraction and retention of businesses, and crime reduction, thus making it fundamental to the environmental well-being of our community. The City of Mebane recognizes the benefits derived from the Parks and Recreation resources and is proud to recognize that July is Parks and Recreation Month.
Yeah, so we hope you all take the opportunity to go out and enjoy one of our many fabulous parks that we have, but please bring some water and also make sure you wear sunscreen, as again, it is super hot outside. But moving on from that, one of the hottest ticket items that we had the most amount of people show up to speak at would be the rezoning and annexation of a property. And I will have Chris tell you a little bit more about that. Chris, can you tell us what happened with this Buckhorn property?
Thank you, Kelly. The property owner, which is Orange County Investors Partnership, and the developer R&L Carriers were requesting conditional rezoning of two lots that were around 83 acres. This is located at 508 and 510 Buckhorn Road. Part of that property is what most people know as the Buckhorn Flea Market. The zoning request was from EDB2, which is zoning by Orange County. It's coded for economic development, Buckhorn higher intensity, which supports manufacturing, assembly, processing, and distribution uses, to Mebane's zoning, which would have been HMCD, heavy manufacturing conditional district, to allow the development of a trucking and freight terminal. This property was outside the Mebane extraterritorial jurisdiction, so annexation was required by the council before the property could be rezoned to Mebane zoning. Council in the end voted 3-2 to adopt an ordinance to extend the corporate limits of the city of Mebane to include the 84 acres. This site is in the Buckhorn Economic Development District, which was currently used as a flea market. The proposed development will be required to follow submitted site plans and construct a 5-foot wide sidewalk along the property boundaries on Buckhorn Road as required by the Mebane UDO. A traffic impact analysis, or a TIA, was completed and reviewed, and the improvements must be made along Buckhorn Road by the developer. The public hearing vendors from the flea market and their families asked for more time to move their belongings, merchandise, and goods off the property. In the end, the council voted 4-1 to approve the HMCD zoning as presented, with the condition presented by the applicant to extend the timeline for the patrons to remove their belongings until August 14th, finding that the application was consistent with the objectives and goals in the city's 2017 Comprehensive Land Development Plan, Mebane by Design. Specifically, the request is for a property within the city's G2 industrial area and part of the Buckhorn Economic Development District, serves the growth goal of 1.7 through the support of the industrial development at existing and developing industrial parks near I-40/85. Was a long meeting. First time I've ever been through a meeting where that whole portion was being translated, whether it was the council speaking, the developer speaking, or people there from the flea market.
And the city of Mebane will also have a new park coming soon. Mayor Hooks, could you please explain to us a little bit about how we're going to acquire this new park?
I sure will. Slippery Elm Properties, LLC, was requesting to rezone a 43+ acre property located outside our city limits, but within the Mebane extraterritorial jurisdiction in Orange County from R20 to R12 residential conditional district to allow for a cluster subdivision of 110 single-family homes and a public park. The applicant proposes adding 6+ acre public park with 2 playgrounds, one for 2 5-year-olds, one for 2 to 5-year-olds, and another for 5 to 12-year-olds. The public recreation area proposed by the applicant will also feature 2 standard swings, 1 baby swing, an inclusive swing, a soccer field, 6 pickleball courts with the potential to add more in the future, and a stormwater control measures, the addition of 3 retention ponds. The applicant also proposed to add a 5-foot concrete sidewalk along Saddle Club with crosswalk connections between the subdivision and across Lebanon Road to the Lake Michael connector. The public park will be constructed by the applicant and will be maintained by the city. A TIA was conducted for this residential subdivision, and the analysis concluded that no improvements for public roadways were required. The council voted 4-1 to approve the R12 city zoning as presented and finds that the application is consistent with the objectives and goals of the 2017 Comprehensive Land Development Plan, Mebane by Design. The request is for property within the city's G4 secondary growth area, generally residential, ensures the integration of a community facility into a new development with reduced distances to parks, consistent with growth management goals. It supports parks, greenways, and open space expansion in a developing area, prioritizing connectivity between locations consistent with open spaces and natural resource protection goal. It contributes to an emerging pedestrian and bicycle network as required by the city's bicycle and pedestrian transportation plan.
Yes, so that will be the addition of another public park to come in the near future. But speaking of some of our parks, one of our parks that is super popular for people who would like to do some fishing or maybe play on the playground or go on the walking trails is Lake Michael. And we have a project update that will be happening here in the near future. Chris, could you please explain to the public what this park is or what this update is going to entail?
Sure. The city's worked for many years trying to develop a plan to design and replace the concrete spillway for the dam at Lake Michael Park. Those plans are coming to fruition. The city received construction bids on the project in mid-April, and the construction bids received will allow the project to proceed as budgeted. The budget includes the financing in the amount of approximately $7.6 million, and construction would probably start in October of this year. So as you come into the main driveway at Lake Michael, you see the large concrete spillway on the left side, and that spillway will be completely demolished and replaced. It's probably about a 2-year project. So because it's right there at the road, they'll be using that main entrance road as part of the construction lay down and have a lot of equipment and stuff there. So the park will be closing a few weeks before construction starts. Stay tuned for some updates as we finalize construction schedules on our social media. During the renovation, the entire park is going to have to be closed to ensure the safety and well-being of the contractors and the public. The lake level is already down, preparing for this construction. I think in total, the lake level is going to have to come down 12 or 13 feet from where the normal pool is, all during this construction process. So it's going to be unavailable, and like I said, it's going to take a couple weeks, but there'll be no using, any part of the park, including the shelters, fishing, lake activities, not utilizing the trails, restrooms, playgrounds. So the whole park's going to be closed during this construction.
Yes, so please stay tuned to social media to see the updates of when Lake Michael will officially be closed. October is a tentative date. It is not set in stone yet, so you will want to be checking for those updates. Speaking of shaping the future of Mebane and its growth, the city is looking to put together a comprehensive land development plan steering committee. So we have contracted with Green Heron Planning, LLC, to update our 2017 comprehensive land development plan. The city is about to begin a year-long project that will create a new long-range comprehensive land development plan. The finished plan is going to outline visions and goals for Mebane's future and guide the city's growth and development. Members of this community advisory committee will assist with public outreach and provide input on the planning and drafting process. Advisory committee members must commit to attending at least 4 meetings between approximately August 2024 and May 2025. City staff have been recommended to choose 10 to 12 individuals to be on the committee, and these 10 to 12 individuals will give various perspectives and representation. We will have some from our current city advisory board, such as the Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory Committee, our Planning Board, our Racial Equity Advisory Committee, our Recreation and Park Advisory Committee, and the Downtown Mebane Development Corporation. The Mebane City Council will make appointments to this committee at their August 5th, 2024 meeting. So the August City Council meeting, and applicants are encouraged to apply. To apply, you can go online to the cityofmebanenc.gov website, scroll to the bottom of our homepage and select boards and commissions, and it will be the first link you see at that page. Applications are due by Tuesday, July 30th, and we hope as many of you apply. It takes all of us to help. Well, we need your input. It takes a village to help shape Mebane and keep us positively charming. So we look forward to that. Mayor Hooks has some important news for us. Mayor Hooks, could you please tell the public what is happening?
Thank you, Kelly. Yes, this is the last video of our with our city manager. I was honored, and we were honored as a city council to honor City Manager Chris Rollins with a resolution on the occasion of his retirement. Chris has dedicated 35 years of exemplary service to local government and began his career in Mebane in January 2013, serving as the assistant city manager. In February 2021, he became the city manager and has played a pivotal role in Mebane's economic development. During his time with the city, Chris was instrumental in creating the North Carolina Commerce Park, which contributed to over 700 million plus in industrial investments and created over 3,000 plus new jobs from 2012 to 2024. His knowledge, his integrity, and his unwavering commitment to service has played a key role in Mebane's infrastructure growth. Chris has managed significant infrastructure projects during his career, including the renovation and expansion of the water and wastewater treatment plants, the Graham-Mebane Reservoir, the Graham-Mebane Lake, the construction of various community facilities, including the 10 million, 32-acre leisure and sports park, the Mebane Community Park, Kate's Farm Park, just to name a few. City Manager Chris Rollins is recognized as being more than an outstanding public servant, but a figure of resilience and a community champion. Senator Amy Galey presented City Manager Chris Rollins with the Order of the Longleaf Pine. Governor Roy Cooper bestowed this prestigious award upon Chris, one of the highest recognition of civilian accomplishment in public service in North Carolina. The City of Mebane extends our deepest gratitude for his exceptional service, and we wish him the best in his retirement. Final words for Chris. I've thought about this long and hard. We could not have ever asked in a million years to have a city manager with an engineering degree from NC State to come to Mebane at a time that we were going through such unprecedented growth, and the need to understand and develop plans for our wastewater treatment plant, our water, all our UDO, everything. His engineering background just played a huge part of that. And we were very lucky to have that in play during his time as city manager. He was great to work with. He made the city council look fantastic. And that's a full-time hard job in itself. And Mebane will be at a loss when Chris retires. He has been a great citizen, person that loved to take care of citizen problems. And we respect and appreciate everything that he's done for the city of Mebane. And me personally, it has been a pleasure to serve with him for all these years. I actually knew Chris before he came to Mebane, and we could not have been better served in the last years having someone with as great as ability as we got with Chris. I actually have tried several times to talk him out of this, but he's ready for retirement. And we wish him the best, he and Andrea, the best, and enjoy retirement. We will miss him.
Thank you, Mayor. I just heard my name spoken a lot in this last few minutes, but you know, Chris Rollins doesn't really get anything accomplished without a team working with him, with the council, and a team working throughout the city. I've thoroughly enjoyed my career, especially these last years here in Mebane. I've been honored to serve as the city manager of Mebane. I greatly appreciate the city council allowing me to serve in this role for the council and the citizens of Mebane. Mebane's located in a very fast-growing portion of North Carolina, and I think the tension of growth in Mebane will continue for many years. I'm very proud of the staff that we have in place and their ability to handle the workload and the stress that they deal with daily, working with the developers and the citizens. And, you know, we all think of police and fire, but we forget about water, sewer, streets, public works, sanitation, you know, recreation. I mean, the list just goes on and on of the team members that we have that support our citizens every day. I'm very happy that Assistant City Manager Preston Mitchell has agreed to be the interim city manager, and I have full faith in his abilities in that role. I look forward to council filling the city manager position later this year. My wife and I look forward to enjoying our next chapter in positively charming Mebane.
Yes, thank you so much for everything, Chris. It has been an honor to work for and alongside you. I've learned so much about local government, and your guidance and wisdom have been greatly appreciated. I wish you the best in your endeavors. You will definitely be missed, but we'll see you around the city, I'm sure. A couple announcements before we end the Positively Mebane update. The City Council went into a closed session to discuss the interim city manager at our July City Council meeting. And it was determined that our Assistant City Manager Preston Mitchell would step up in the meantime until we appoint a new city manager. If you are interested in applying to become Mebane's new city manager, applications will reopen on September 1st. And we hope We hope we get a good pool of people. We can't wait to see who all applies. If you're interested in applying, it will be on our LinkedIn, or you can go to the City of Mebane website and it will be listed underneath the HR department. Please join us for our one of our last musical chairs events. That'll be August 16th. It'll be Miss Minnie and the Sandman Band. And musical chairs happens every third Friday, starting at 7:00 p.m. It's a free concert series for everyone to enjoy. We just ask that you please bring chairs. And other than that, we have the Mebane Farmers Market that'll run until November 16th. It happens every Saturday morning in downtown Mebane from 8:30 to noon. There's a bunch of different vendors, sometimes some food trucks, sometimes live music, and it's a family fun event for everybody to enjoy. Well, that's going to wrap up our last Positively Mebane update with Chris serving as our city manager. Thank you both for being here. And Chris, again, best of luck in retirement. We can't wait to see all the pictures from your exciting travels.
Thank you.
Remember, Mebane, stay positively charming.